Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel on French with Anubhav. If you have already subscribed to my channel, press the bell icon to get the latest updates. In today's class, we are continuing with the topic we took in my previous video, which is direct and indirect speech. Hence, this is the part 2 video. Direct and indirect speech part 1 is a prerequisite. You must watch it. It is required. And I have also mentioned the playlist, the link to the playlist titled Tenses in French, because it would be really helpful. There you can get all my videos done on tenses. Right. So as I said in my previous video, if you have watched it, that we will be discussing reporting verbs. So here we are. We are discussing reporting verbs here. Reporting verbs basically which kind of tells that what the person is saying. Right. Different ways. Like either the person is insisting, or the person is shouting, or the person is asking, or the person is announcing, like those. Like every time you can't just use dir, which is to say, right? You need to use different ones, right? And these can be used in both direct also, indirect also. So that would be clear when we will be taking examples after discussing these verbs. So let's discuss the reporting verbs used in direct and indirect speech in French. First is affirmer. AFFIRMER, affirm means to assert. See, like he assert then a statement, or he asserted then a statement, or he asserted that. See, in direct also, in indirect also, in both ways you can use it. Similarly, explique. He explained dash a quote, or he explained that. Again, direct, indirect, both. So explique means to explain. Annoncer. ANNONCER. I repeat. ANNONCER. Annoncer, to announce. Then we have remarquer. REMARQUER. Remarquer, to remark. Then we have dire. We know it very well. Dire means to say. Right. Talking about sixth one, we have crier. CRIER. Crier, which means to shout. Then seventh, simple enough, we have insister. Insister, INSISTER, to insist. Ajouter, to add. Prétendre, to claim. Proclamer. Prétendre, PRE with an accent Q, TENDRE, prétendre, to claim. Proclamer, to proclaim. Répondre, to respond. Demander, to ask. So using these verbs, you can present or speak or write direct speech and indirect speech. Okay. Now, as I discussed, that after discussing the reporting verbs, we will be going to discuss examples. So here we go. First, I need to erase all these verbs. Perfect. Now, let's start discussing examples. First example we have Pauline remark. Fine. Pauline remarque. J'ai soif. Fine. Pauline remarks, j'ai soif. J'ai soif, I am thirsty. So, Pauline remarks, I am thirsty. This is direct speech. But when you need to do it in indirect, what it would be? Pauline remarks that she is thirsty. Right. So, in indirect, it would be Pauline remarque qu'elle a soif. What changes we could notice? Colon and bracket got removed. an extra k get added up here, which means that, and the subject pronoun changed from je to elle, and hence the conjugation also changed. So here it would be Pauline remarked that she is thirsty. Number 2. Dennis dit j'espère étudier au Canada. J'espère étudier, au Canada. Fine. Cool. So here we are using the verb dire, which means to say. Dennis says, I hope to study in Canada. This is direct speech. If you need to do it in indirect, it would be Dennis. D. First, you need to put k. Here it will become kill because je will change to ill, and ill begins with a vowel, so k, Q-U-E, k will become Q-U apostrophe. Kill, espère. Actually, the conjugation has shifted from what we used to write for je to what we write for ill, but interestingly, the conjugation is same for je and ill, hence it's espère over here. Don't think that it's the same thing put here. No, the meaning here is that with je also it's espère and with ill also it's espère. Okay. And then the rest of the sentence, étudier au Canada. Right. So Dennis says he hopes to study in Canada. That's indirect speech. I need to erase the first example to accommodate the third example over here. Third example which I have here is fine. Okay. Now, the third change which I discussed in my previous video, you would be knowing it only if you have watched the part 1. If you haven't, do watch it, it's required. So in the third case, what we discussed, changes in the verb tense, right? So now that change will take place for few tenses, and few tenses will change to some other tense when we are shifting from one sort of speech to other, right? Like present will become imperfect, but from when going from direct to indirect, but when it's imperfect already in direct speech, it will remain imperfect in indirect speech also, and vice versa. Similarly, the example which I am going to take is having present conditional. Yes, it has present conditional, but there won't be any change when we are going to direct and indirect. Of course, the conjugation will change following the subject pronoun, but the tense will not change. So here we have used the verb Pierre a annoncer. Fine. So we are using annoncer to announce. Pierre a annoncé, colon, j'aurais, sorry, oh, I was writing the next example, sorry for that. J'aimerais, yeah. J'aimerais aller au cinéma. Right. Pierre a annoncé, j'aimerais aller au cinéma. Pierre announced, I would like to go to the cinema. When you are using it in indirect, when you are converting it, then it would be Pierre a annoncé qu'il, je will change to il, qu'il. No change in tense, mind it, but conjugation will change, of course, because the subject pronoun is different and the conjugation of je and il are not same in this case, right? So il aimerait aller, then the rest of the sentence au cinéma. So Pierre announced that he would like to go to the cinema. See, present conditional, present conditional. Did it change? No. But in next example, I will be taking a case where the tense will change. Second last example for today's video, fourth one is Peter a ajouté. Fine. So in this particular statement, we are using the verb to add, ajouter. Pierre a ajouté. Pierre a ajouté. J'aurai la réponse demain. Fine. Colon. J'aurai la réponse demain. Aurait is what? Future tense, future sample. So, Peter added that, I will have the answer tomorrow. Fine. Now, when you are converting it to indirect, if you translate it, like Pierre added that he will have the answer tomorrow, that doesn't sound much right. Better option would be that he would have the answer tomorrow, isn't it? And since when we are translating, the change is taking place, so of course when we are writing in French, the change has to take place, isn't it? And as we discussed, future tense, future sample changes to present conditional. In my previous video, we discussed it. So it would be Peter a ajouté qu'il aurait, present conditional, aurait la réponse demain. Pierre added that he will be having, or he would have the answer tomorrow. Fine. And now moving to the last example for today's video. Let's write the direct speech statement first. Anne a dit, je dois finir mes devoirs. Anne a dit, je dois finir mes devoirs. So Anne is saying I must finish my homeworks. Like plural, must be multiple homework. Fine. Now, remember the point I discussed in my previous video? When present tense will become imperfect? When we are referencing to past. Like Anne said this statement in the past, not in the present time, not at the present time, isn't it? Hence, the change has to take place. So it would be Anne a dit qu'elle devait. It won't be doit, it would be here devait. Devait is what? Imperfect form of devoir with elle. Elle devait finir. Another change will take place here. May will no longer remain may, because we learned that in direct and indirect possessives also change, isn't it? So it would be finir ses devoirs. So Anne a dit qu'elle devait finir ses devoirs. Present tense changed to imperfect. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel and Untitled. And if you have any doubt or suggestion, you may write that in the comment section below. You may also like my Facebook page by the same name, Learn French with Anubhav. Thanks for watching. Au revoir. N'oubliez pas que la langue française est l'amour.